Crothers. I'm the head of the farrier department with Kawell Copper Alloy Horseshoes. Today we're going to be shoeing and demonstrating shoeing of a horse and showing some of the different pathologies that can occur with them. When we as a farrier, when we go about shoeing a horse, we want to be considerate of proper balance, both of the medial lateral or inside outside, and also the proper balance of the hoof to pastern axis. We're also going to be considering symmetry of the hoof. Symmetry in the hoof is critical. Hoof asymmetries are a lot of times man-made issues that we need to accommodate for, or we need to shoe correctly for, because of different imbalances or conformational challenges that the horse may have in their limb. Ranger here today, he has pretty good conformation, but he has some minor asymmetries that we're going to address, and some minor hoof issues, seedy hoof issues that we're going to address today with the copper alloy horseshoes. So we'll get started on our trim. So Ranger's not going to need much for a trim today. We've already, just in wear, he's worn his toe off, really blunt. So we're going to address that here. But before I start my trim, I'm going to start by checking my balance, my medial lateral balance, so inside outside balance. In order to do this, I must make sure that his head is straight in line with his body, because that in itself can cause the hoof to appear imbalanced. Just a light little bit of knife work just to expose. We don't want to knife too much here because Ranger's also dealing with a retracted sole, where he has a ridge of sole here, but then it drops in. We just want to get this sole slightly lower than the wall here. Frog is really in pretty good shape. We're just going to clean up just a little bit. If we had some frog issues with him, we would consider putting some copper alloy frog inserts or heart bars on him. Just want to clean up some loose tags, loose edges. So the sides of the frog, you're dealing with the commissures. This is more the central sulcus here. We want to promote this frog to be healthy and self-cleaning. I'm not going to remove anything excess. This foot does not require any nipping, so we're just going to be rasping the little bit of excess just to get our foot as flat as we can. So we have a little bit of a flare, a little distortion here. We're going to address when we take the foot up onto the stand. Again, we just want to get this sole just slightly lower than the wall. I'm going to clean up a little bit of this white line area. And you can see
A little bit of
and Lily needs to come in. Okay,
so we got a little bit of seedy area going on right here. Not too bad, just a little bit. A little bit of seedy area going on up here. Again, not too much, just a little bit. But we'll go ahead and put the copper alloy shoes on him. So this is going to be a nice fit for him in a size 1. Double check our balance again. Okay, that all looks really good. So when I'm looking at my hoof to pastern axis, I'll come in here and I'll palpate, and we have 2 prominent points called the condyles of the second phalanx, or P2. And if I line up my fingers with those and look at his hoof wall, he's really, the angles of his hoof to his pastern is pretty good. He could stand to have his toe brought back just a little bit, just to get that alignment a little bit better. So now we're going to take the foot up onto a stand, dress any of the distortions away, and then prepare our shoe to put on the foot. Flares and distortions in his hoof capsule. So after we get all the flares and distortions, we'll just kind of get it through. Just pretty up his foot just a little bit. Okay, so now we're ready to get our shoe ready and get a shoe nailed on this foot. Again, we're just going to re-evaluate our fit before we go to the anvil. When I'm looking at fit, I want to be fitting the hairline more than I want to necessarily always fit the foot. So this shoe is actually it doesn't really need a whole lot done to it. Just close it up just a little bit, and we'll get this tuned up, fit for his shape of his foot. I mean, this shoe is very close to the shape of Ranger's foot. We just need to close it up. So I'm going to demonstrate on this one of the fact we don't have to have fire. We can shape cold. Majority of the time, I don't shape cold. I prefer heat, but when it's this minor, I'll work it cold. Just a little level work here just to work out any of the kinks. There we go. We're ready to nail this shoe on. When we talk about the hoof to pastern axis. In the hoof capsule, you have your coffin bone that should sit at a slightly positive angle, so slightly up in the heel, down in the toe. Right about here in the hoof capsule, you have the navicular bone. Then the next bone is the short pastern, and it sits partially in, about a third of it's in the hoof capsule, and the rest of it's out. So when I'm checking the hoof to pastern axis, I'm going to palpate prominent points on the short pastern here, and align that to the hoof capsule and see if I need to remove a little bit more toe. So the points I'm palpating are these condyles, and we want these condyles to line up so that our coffin bone and short pastern are as close to being in a straight line as possible. There we go.
So the Kawell shoes are punched for an E-head nail. E-head fits nice and snug, seat in to the nail hole nicely. Other nails can be used, but best fit you're going to get is out of your E. In this shoe, the nail that I'm using is an E4. So this is a size 1, and I'm using an E4 nail. We'll get some nails here. Put on my Kawell wrist magnet.
Again, before I start nailing, I always double check my balance, making sure that my medial lateral inside-outside balance is correct. We do have a little bit of foot here, a little bit of lateral or medial hoof to remove here, not much. Nice fit here. I typically 4 nail my horses. Not very many of them, I 6 nail. this number 2 nail. I didn't get it as high in the foot as I wanted, so we'll re-drive that one. There we go. So there's our finished product. Shoe covers the hairline. So now we're going to clinch these nails down. I prefer to gouge for my clinches. Leave a little pocket for the clinch to lay into. Just need a little burr taken out of it. Many different ways to gouge, many different ways that people like to clinch. The process of how you do it is not as critical and as important as just the use of the shoe. Nip those nails nice and short to the foot. Then we're just going to there we are. There's our finished product.
So now all we need to do is we're going to paint the bottom Ranger's soles with the Kawell hoof paste, and then we'll paint the exterior of the hoof capsule just to help fight any kind of prevent any kind of bacteria infection in the foot.
Nice generous coat to the sole. Then again, we'll step up front. Thank you. There we go. So we get the foot nice and cleaned up. And then just apply a generous coat of the hoof paste to his sole to help with that retracted sole. And then we can take it right up front. and apply it, especially on the base here where we had some of our separation. This will not stain the hoof, so if you're worried about that for shows and stuff, no problem there. So there we go.